Hey guys, Ivan here with the Old School Labs, and let's begin this video with a crazy physique update of Nick Walker. He just uploaded this most muscular hands clasped, I'm not sure. Anyways, with this most muscular pose, and he looks freaky. He looks super freaky, and it's really not much to say about this photo. It just looks good, and he's a pro now, so. Let's see what he does as a pro, at Chicago Pro in 4 weeks. I think he's gonna do great. I don't know if he can win it though, but he's gonna look impressive. Who do I actually think is gonna win it? I'm not sure if Big Ramy is doing it. Based on these photos that he posted yesterday, it seems like they were all old photos. So he tricked us, he tricked me, if that's the case. But yeah, I found the same photos from before, so it's not just the same room, same lighting, it's old photos. So Big Ramy, is he doing the Chicago Pro? I'm not sure, but who I know is doing it and who has the biggest chances, considering the fact that he placed second at the New York Pro, looked absolutely amazing, looked better than Ian Valier in the finals. That's of course Justin Luis Rodriguez, who sent these photos to RX Muscle, who posted them, and he looks like, this is his best year ever. I never seen Justin look like this. I don't know what he did in the offseason. Actually, I listened to his coach. What he did basically is, he got a little heavy in the offseason. So he didn't really, pay too much attention to staying lean. He got heavy, he got big. And then they dieted down so fast, like it was crazy. And he had to eat so little calories. But it worked. Apparently it worked. And this is him at his best. And potentially he can win the Chicago Pro and qualify for the Mr. Olympia and do well at the Mr. Olympia as well. Unless he is stopped by somebody else. For example, this guy here on the left, Hassan Mostafa, who looked like a winner of New York Pro the moment he stepped on the stage. But as the show went on, he looked worse and worse. I don't know what was the thing. Maybe he was just full with water and carbs and he peaked perfectly. But then as he was posing and flexing, he started losing water and electrolytes and he just flattened out. It happens. And his physique definitely started to fade as the show went on. But if he figures out, if he doesn't fade in the next show, if he shows up like he showed up at New York Pro, the first moment, the first second, if he keeps that shape till the end of the show, he has big chances to actually win Chicago. If he is doing Chicago, I'm pretty sure he is. Anyways, here he is standing next to Flex Lewis. And Flex is just easily dwarfing him, you can say that. Yeah, he's out-angling him as well a little, but there is a video as well, you can check it out. There isn't a big difference between these guys, but Flex is probably bigger, actually. Yeah, and that's why everybody is saying that Flex is going to be in the top 5 or top 6 of the Mr. Olympia, because this guy, he won 7 to 12 Mr. Olympia titles, and he retired. Like, he could have kept winning them, but he decided not to anymore, because it was too easy for him. 212 was too easy, and he always had to suffer like crazy to fit in that weight cap. Now he has the freedom to come big as he wants, and apparently he's bigger than one of the biggest freaks in bodybuilding right now, Hassan. So we'll see how he looks standing next to the bigger guys like Big Ramy, if he competes, if he shows up, if he qualifies. Rolly Winkler, the other guys like Brandon Curry, Phil Heath. Wow, that's gonna be epic. Let's wait and see. I can't wait. Very exciting, Mr. Olympia. Meanwhile, classic physique Mr. Olympia is getting hotter and hotter. The rivalry between Breon and Chris Bumstead is getting heated up. And there is that thing, these guys are kind of rivals, and this year there is actually some drama going on. There is some back and forth between these two guys. But, it's what Breon said mainly. He said that a champion shouldn't have weaknesses, that Chris has weak arms and probably also back. And here's the thing, guys. We can just say, like, yeah, Chris has weak arms, but he's more classic. Breon will never win again. He's not as classic. This and that. It doesn't really matter. Like, what's the point here that we are missing, but we are feeling it? It's the rivalry. Like, I shouldn't be pointing it out because then I make it less interesting, but it's fun to have rivalry. Like, we had Phil Heath and Kai Green. That was amazing. That made all those Olympias more exciting, way more than any other Mr. Olympias before or after. So I mean, we never saw that kind of rivalry, like Phil Heath and Kai Green. Like we saw it kind of like Jay Cutler and Ronnie, but these two guys liked each other. Sean Ray and Dorian Yates, they hated each other, but it wasn't even close. Pumping iron, you had Lou Ferrigno and Arnold, but Lou didn't even place, next to Arnold. So the best rivalry of all time was Kai versus Phil. I mean, they almost had a fist fight on the stage. But now classic physique seems to be getting more and more exciting year after year, and now we get some rivalry, and I love it. Here is a photo, of Breon, who posted his front double bicep, and he looks absolutely amazing. Look at the size of those arms and V taper and everything. He's so massive. He has to lose, I don't know how much, but I think he has to lose like at least another 25 pounds, something like that. So when he does that, when he depletes down and gets dry as hell, that's going to be one impressive physique. I mean, guys, don't forget about this. I mean, he won 2 Mr. Olympias in Classic, right? So he is the second best at least if he doesn't win it again. But maybe he can win it. Like, who knows how Chris will show up. So, like, this is the second most impressive classic physique in the world. And goddamn, in the off-season, he looks big. This is really impressive. I also wanted to mention this new classic guy. I mean, he competed last year, and apparently he's trying to qualify for the Mr. Olympia. He's 2.5 weeks out of NPC European Championships, which is a show that many bodybuilders will do and try to qualify for the Mr. Olympia. It's a Mr. Olympia qualifier, and this guy is classic. He's very, very classic. He has a really aesthetic physique. Will it translate to stage? I don't know. Previously, he kind of didn't bring the conditioning, at that necessary level, and his waist maybe seems a little bit too wide. He's a little bit blocky, but if he can manage to keep it, tucked in like this with a vacuum, he has a really aesthetic physique, a really good lines, and I can see him do well in classic physique for sure. Pretty much the same thing goes with Calum Von Moger, who just uploaded this physique update, and he looks lean and big and impressive overall. However, I don't think he's, he's unique, right? He has big arms. He has a physique that reminds us of Arnold. His arms are a little bit bigger than his chest and his back. He has pretty small waist, but he doesn't have big legs actually. So, like, it's a classic physique, sure, but it's more like a golden era physique, it's not exactly classic physique, because we know the standards for classic physique. It's more like, smaller bodybuilders with prettier lines, but still you need to have dominant legs, you need to have shredded glutes, you need to be very, very conditioned, you need to have everything like a bodybuilder, just, within that weight cap, and also you need to have a little bit prettier lines. Calum, he's great. He can probably turn pro, but like to stand next to Chris Bumstead and Breon Ansley and these other guys, no, I don't see that happen. What a V taper. Look at his Cobra back. It's insane. Sergio Oliva Jr., he uploaded us with his physique update, and he looks absolutely impressive. Like, he grew that back again. I don't know what the hell he's doing in the offseason, but he keeps progressing, and he's not a younger guy. He's like 35, something like that. Even though he has that baby face action going on, he's not a youngster. Although this is a perfect example of a cobra back. You can literally see a face of a cobra when you take a look at his back, and it's really like, it reminds us. It reminds me, and I'm sure it reminds you a lot of his father. It's a really similar physique, but more modern like, and he keeps making progress. And I'm sure this guy, he did really well at the Arnold this year, and I'm sure he's gonna do great whatever show he does next. It's just gonna be growing a little bit more, getting a little bit more matured. Although he was really big at the Arnold, he was like maybe even 280, but he's a bit taller guy. So we'll see what he does next, which show. But whatever show he does, if he brings the conditioning, and apparently he did gain a little bit more muscle, he's going to look super impressive. Can't wait to see him again on the stage. The next story is a nasty one. I didn't even want to make this video, mention this in my video, but let's just do it. I'll just cover it. PJ Braun, who was a previous sponsor of Keone Pearson, just posted some nasty stuff about him. He's basically calling him out, and there aren't really any real reasons. I don't know why he's angry. He's probably high on something. I don't know. Let's read. So he says, a year ago, this man was in prime of building career with family who loved him and a girlfriend who he supposedly loved taking care of him, but he wasn't real. He was a coward and weak and hiding behind a suit of a perfect molded iron. He allowed someone with whom he meant nothing to get inside his head, and the reality of it is all he's kicking himself for it every day. But the money he lost and the benefits he got are absolutely replaceable. The drugs he'll acquire will help with the hard work and his beautiful genetics. But he lost the most important thing in the world, love. Turned his back on it all. The girl who loved him dearly, the brothers and sisters who loved him dearly, and the mentor he called Dad. Keone called BJ Braun Dad. What the hell? What was a beautiful memory and piece of my life will now go down as a terrible lapse in judgment for me, but that's perfectly okay now for me. Last year's Mr. Olympia was a special moment, but now a reminder of just how scummy this industry of leeches can be. I ask you guys time and time again, what really matters to you? And will you forget where you came from? Loyalty is everything, hashtag. But man, is it rare. Wow, strong words from PJ Braun, and honestly, I don't buy this for a second. I don't think this is the truth. I mean, I got the impression that Keone is a good person, and PJ Braun, I mean, guys, I mean, you know what his company is known for, putting steroids in supplements or selling steroids, illegally. Like, he's probably gonna go to jail eventually. There are federal charges against him. So, I mean, he is not an honest man, that's for sure. So, like, this looks just, I don't know, like BS to me. Then again, I'm not sure. Maybe this is all true. Of course, I don't know, but this is just my opinion. Based on all I've seen so far, based on my impression that I got. And it's a pretty strong impression that I got left based on everything I saw so far. Anyways, what do you guys think? Is this, I mean, who is right here? Like, is PJ really speaking the truth, or is he having some kind of mental breakdown or something like that? Maybe he's high on something, I don't know. But it looks weird, and I don't know what's the truth. Anyways, whatever you guys think, tell me down below in the comment section. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe for more bodybuilding videos like this. All the best, guys, and keep it old school.